Hello BookTube, my name is Daniel. Welcome back to my channel, Guilty Feet. The Ice Age is coming, the sun zooming in, meltdown expected, and I've got no rhythm. I'm in London, I flew today. I did COVID test yesterday in Israel, flew today to London. I've got a serological test to do here, I have to do another test before I go back. I'm at my mum's apartment in northwest London, or Middlesex really, and I have probably the largest book haul in history ever to be recorded. I'm going to take you through it. There are 140 books here. I have how much I paid for each one. The majority of these books were purchased on eBay, some on Amazon. That's a mixture of actual Amazon Marketplace, which I guess is actual Amazon if you hate Amazon. And I will tell you through how much I paid for each one. And at the end of it, the end of 140 books, I can tell you, how much this hobby is costing me, because 140 books is roughly a year's worth of reading. I won't say for sure that I won't buy another book in the 12 months from now, but I read between 120 and 140 books a year, so this is roughly a year's worth of reading. And I can also give you an average cost per book, which I think is kind of interesting. Those of you who purchase books will know what new books cost, or second-hand books, and so I have that calculated as well. And I'm just going to take you through it. I've got recycling bags ready for plastics and for cardboard. I have some books already that are out there, packages. We'll go through those first, and then I will start opening them up. I have my mum's scissors. I will try and fast forward those bits where it's just me cutting pieces of paper and talking, and let's just see how we do. I guess maybe I'll try and keep it to 30-minute segments. I know no one ever watches parts 2 and parts 3, so this is really just for me to keep a record of this and something to revisit. If you want to stick around for the whole thing, I'd be delighted to have you. I will try not to spend too much time on each book, but many of these purchases are BookTube related. People have said things, I've watched something, I've had a conversation with someone, it's triggered it, and I will try in the notes that I made. I've tried to remember who was the original inspiration for that particular book, and let's just see where we go. I'll start with a book that I got for free because my mum bought this and read it, and now she's gifting it to me, and that is Richard Osmonds' The Thursday Murder Club. I think best-selling book in the UK last year, is just now out in paperback, so that's how long this has been going on, that this book is now out in paperback, but I'm counting this as a free addition to the Guilty Library. This is actually a signed edition, so we like Richard Osmond. It barely, my mum's read this, but like me, after she's read it, it barely looks like it's been touched. I love these black page edges. Let's just see if we can find Mr. Osmond's signature. There he is. Thank you, Richard. So that's the first book. I'm going to pile things up here, separately broken down by stuff that I'm going to take back with me, stuff that I'm giving to my friend who is a pilot for a well-known national airline, and other stuff I have no idea when it's going to get back. But here we are, Richard Osmond. I reckon I'll probably get to this sooner rather than later. That's the first book. Now the next two books are kind of interesting. These were the first books I bought in this whole haul. So this is going back to November. There was a tweet from Unbound, which is a publishing company that does sort of crowd funding for books. And they spoke about this author who I had never heard of at that point. So I did some research on it and then bought these books. There's an author called Adam Demint, who was a British spy novelist sort of in the late 60s. So this is as Bond is breaking out and the movies are hitting. He was writing sort of hip spy books. But he published 4 books and then was never heard from again. So Unbound was going to republish all 4 books in a single bind-up, but they didn't reach their funding target. It turns out I followed up with them. But back in November when I read this, I thought, well, I wonder if I can find the original versions of these books somewhere on eBay. And I found someone to sell me the first 2. The Philip McAlpine is the name of the spy. So I've got here the Dolly Dolly Spy by Adam Demint in this lovely beaten up old pan paperback, and I have The Great Spy Race. That's a fantastic 60s title for a spy novel, also in this super beaten up pan paperback. I got each of these for £3.10. I think originally they sold for 5 shillings, so I paid more than they were originally worth. But I just love this, and the fact that the project didn't meet its funding target, and so I'm reading these now, and I don't know if anyone's ever heard of them. If you know anything about Demint, Duncan, probably my best bet. I hadn't heard of him, but this seems right up my street. So that's 2 spy novels by Adam Demint, the first 2. Then I've got there's a whole bunch of graphic novels in this, so apologies to people who don't read comic books or graphic novels. I don't know why I've got these two on their own out of their box, but there may be some more of these, because I bought 7 in one lot. Again, this was an eBay purchase. I bought 7 Hellboy graphic novels in one lot, and I paid £21 for all 7, so that's £3 a copy. That's 2 of them there. This is number 7 in the series, and this is the Troll Witch and Other Stories. So I think that's some Hellboy shorts, and so that's £3 cover price, $17.95, and then probably not too close to the screen, right? And then this is number 11 in the series, and this is The Bride of Hell and Others. So also some Hellboy shorts, £3 for this, and that is $19.99 cover price. So there should be some more of those in this haul, and I'm sure we'll find them. The next one is my first mistake, and there are a few mistakes, some my fault and some just the fact that I was ordering 6 months ago, and since I ordered and paid up for the hardback, the book has come out and paid back, or the price already dropped and I may have overpaid then. But I'll talk about those. But this is just a classic mistake where I got 2 volumes of Starman. This is, I think, 3 and 4 of the collected trade paperbacks of the James Robinson's Starman series, and I paid £5 for the 2. So that was £2.50 each, which is a really great place to be for. This is Wicked Inclination, and this is Times Past, and that would be a great place to be. £2.50 for a graphic novel with cover price again $17.95. So I'm happy to pay £2.50 for each of those. I'll put my computer on silent so we don't have to listen to that again. The problem is that I already had this one, so I now have 2 copies of this, and this one cost me £5. So that's that. Here we've got. This is great. This is another graphic novel. This is a collection of an entire series. This is 12 issues. This is Sleeper. They're calling it season 1. I think there was just as like a season 2, another 12-issue series with probably another set like Fargo or True Crime. What was the name of the series? Where these anthology series they do. So I think Sleeper is kind of pitched like that. Ed Brubaker, we've read him before, and he's great. And this is art by Sean Phillips. So 12 issues collected, and I paid for this £4.60, and this has a US cover price of $24.99. So £4.60 was a steal. I don't think you can find these very often. So I was really excited about that. A few more graphic novels, and then we'll do some. We have some actual novels and non-fiction as well. These were 4 books I bought together, again in a lot on eBay. So this is volumes 5, 6, 7 and 8 of The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Sorry, I always say this wrong. It turns out when you read Squirrel Girl that actually it's supposed to be pronounced Squirrel Girl. Who knew? So this is starting at 5, Like I'm the Only Squirrel in the World. Volume 6, Who Runs the World? Squirrels. Volume 7, I've Been Waiting for a Squirrel Like You. And Volume 8, My Best Friend's Squirrel. The problem is I bought all 4 of these for was it £9, so £2.25 each, which again I think is a good price. Each of these has a cover price of $15.99. The problem is the only other one I've got, I couldn't pass up this because it was a great lot at a cheap price, but the only other one I've got is Volume 1, which I've got at home and read, so I probably need to get 2, 3 and 4 before I'll even read these. But I've gambled on Ryan North because everything I've read by him I liked, so that was it. That's 4 volumes, but they'll probably wait, and I'll give these to my friend because I'm not in a rush to read them because I haven't read the missing volumes. Then I got this giant collection of Deadpool. This has got like 15, 16 issues in it, and this is like early Deadpool. This is one of the first solo series he had, written by Daniel Way. Now, I encountered Deadpool. I've got Deadpool's first appearance, which was in New Mutants '98. So I have that as a floppy single issue. I bought it, for cover price at the time, and might probably, I don't know what condition wise, but in perfect condition, that's worth a few £100. So I saw this cheap. Let me tell you. I'm going to check the thing how much I paid for Daniel Way's Deadpool collection. This is the boring part. Okay, £5.50. £5.50 including postage for that, which originally sold for $34.99. I think that's a good bargain. Can catch up on some Deadpool that I don't remember. It's not essential, and I'm not in a rush to read it, but it's a lovely a palate cleanser in between something a bit more difficult. This is really early Deadpool before he became that fourth wall-breaking lunatic that we know him from the movies. So excited to see what he was like back in the day. Then I've got volume 3 of Giant Days. This is John Allison. I'll tell you how much I paid for this. Giant Days volume 3, I paid £4.74. So I've read volumes 1 and 2, so this was the next one in the thing, and these have all been great so far. So enjoying these, and eventually I'll get to, I think they're up to about volume 9 or 10 already. So I'm a bit behind on these, but looking forward to that and keeping up with that story, or catching up with it. Giant Days volume 3 by John Allison. Next up, I have another series that I'm collecting the collected editions of. I think I've read all these individual issues at some point, but this was Grant Morrison's run on New XMen, which started around issue 114, and this is Zorn, who is a mutant of unclear what the limits of his powers are, and he has a whole story in this, which I will not spoil for you. An amazing picture of Jean Grey. This is Frank. Oh, it's not Frank White. I thought it was Frank. Oh, the art, the cover art, I think is Frank Whiteley, but the internal art, or in the actual comics, was someone I don't know. Second pencilers: John Paul Leon, Igor Corday, Phil Jimenez, and Ethan Van Sciver. I hope I'm pronouncing everyone's names correctly. But Grant Morrison is the person whose writing I tend to follow. And I say this is volume 4, I think, in this series, and I've read the other one, so I can go straight into that. Okay. I didn't say how much I paid for that one. I paid £3.63. So again, I think that's a good price for a graphic novel. Next, I've got an actual book. So graphic novels, I will come back with. There's loads more graphic novels here, but this was a big hit at the end of last year, and that's when I picked it up. And this is Rumen Alarm's Leave the World Behind. So this looks, very good, and like 240 pages. And it's just a perfect example of a book that I might have felt better about if I was reading it at the time everyone else was talking about it, but I'll get to it. I've heard great things and I'm looking forward to that. And I paid for that new hardback, I paid £9.99. So that's at the upper end of what I pay per book, 10 quid. But looking forward to reading that. That's a nice big hardback. And I'll put that over there. Now this was interesting. This comes from a conversation I had with someone on Facebook. This is David Arrowsmith's Nevada Noir, and this is all of... It doesn't even have page numbers on it. It's less than like 50, 60 pages. And the reason I bought this because I was in a Facebook group with David Arrowsmith, and I was sort of saying that I wasn't really interested in self-published work just because I had so much stuff that I want to read that in order for things to pass through some kind of editorial process or acceptance process, that's really the sort of line where I'm looking for. And he said, well, he published his own things, and really there's a lot of good self-published work. And I said, you know what? In order to show up, I'm going to buy your book. And so I bought his, look how thin this is, self-published work. This is David Arrowsmith, is a TV executive with nearly 20 years experience creating award-winning factual television. Okay, Nevada Noir, I think is 3 short stories in so many pages. The font is amateurish, and this is, I think, self-published or some vanity publishing, but I'll give it a go. £3.99 I paid for that from Amazon. So David Arrowsmith, I'm coming for you. Next up, going completely different direction. I'm always setting myself reading challenges and goals, and I decided that one of the things that I'd never done is read a lot of French literature. I've read a bit of Dumas. I haven't read Hugo at all. I did 2 or 3 volumes of Proust, but never finished the whole thing. So the couple of things that I want to talk about, Balzac, I haven't started either. I think Brian is a big fan of Balzac, am I right? But I thought I would start with Zola. And this is the first in this series, about the Rougon-Macquart family. I don't know how you pronounce that. It's actually quite a slim volume, so this is nice, 250 pages. And there's 20, I think, in this. And they're not published by Penguin Classics, which is my preferred publisher. I just like the feel of them, I like the heft of them. But actually, I imagine if I end up with, over the next 10 years, 15 years, however long it's going to take me, 20 that look like this, these Oxford classics of Zola's masterwork, I guess I won't be too displeased. But I will get to this, and this, I think, is a more recent translation, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong. And as I say, there's a whole bunch of these, and I will be reading them, I think, there was the order of publication, and then Zola said what he thought the order they should be read in. I can't remember which one I decided, but I think this is the first in either way. So that is The Fortune of the Rougon. I don't know if that is it a soft G before an O? I don't even know how to pronounce it. I need to do some work on this, but a nice slim volume of a classic and a French author that I've never read before, so we've got that. Then another series that I'm collecting, this time non-fiction. I'm working my way through Joan Didion's back catalogue. Very hard to find secondhand. And so, I have to make a deliberate purchase. It's not something I stumble across. It's one of the perennial searches that I'll do if I'm on eBay and thinking, what am I looking for? I'll do another search for Joan Didion's collections. But this, I'm up to the White Album. And everything I've read from Didion so far has been just outstanding. I didn't tell you how much. This one, The Fortune, the Zola, I paid £6.29 new on Amazon. The Joan Didion, I'll tell you, I think this was also new because I say it's hard to find secondhand. But the Joan Didion, I paid £5.10. So that strikes me that maybe, was that an eBay purchase? I'm looking again. I wrote all this down. Joan Didion, yes, I bought this on eBay. So £5.10 is good. So the cover price is £8.99, and they're hard to find secondhand. So that's the White Album, collection of journalism going back to the late 60s, early 70s, whenever this is. Yeah, these Fourth Estate editions, they haven't done anything interesting with the typeface. It's like quite hard to read, but the writing justifies all of it. This is copyright 1979, so this is collected stuff that she wrote in the 70s, and this came out in 1979. Joan Didion's The White Album. Sorry, I'm going to make sure that I've got my piles up here. Next up is something a lot of been all over YouTube. I loved her first novel, and I decided to pick this up. This is Susanna Clarke's Piranesi. Continue to hear only good things about this. This is a brand new sort of hardback. The cover price $14.99, and if I remember correctly, I paid $9.99 for this. 1 second. This is $9.99 from Amazon. That be the market? No, so that was the Amazon discount. That's 33% discount. That's pretty good. Anyway, that's another slim hardback book that I will get to shortly because I'm really looking forward to that. This is a giant monstrosity. It's just put Piranesi. This is XMen Grand Design by Ed Piskel. That's a normal hardback book, and this is this giant thing. I don't know if any of you are familiar with, have you ever seen Hip Hop Family Trees? Is a sort of giant graphic pseudo 70s look, and is a graphic telling of how hip hop groups are all connected to each other. And this guy, Ed Piskel, is the same guy who did Hip Hop Family Trees, and this is using the same format. He's got this giant X-Men story, and you've got these sort of really dated images, and then the artwork itself is the colouring and the art is very old-fashioned, and I just fancied this, and I picked this up. I'll tell you how much I paid for this, which again I think I did pretty well on the price. This is so this cost me £7.78 from Amazon, so this would have been a marketplace purchase. It was a little bit scuffed, but £7.78 for a cover price here is $30. So I think that's okay, even though it's giant, it won't fit on any of my shelves. I was kind of interested. I missed this when it first came out, and I thought I'd pick it up. Okay, that is all the books that have been unpacked. So now we're going to start opening packages, and I'm just going to pick them at random and start doing them. So apologies. I'll start with this great big one down here, because this is not just books. I believe this has got something else in it as well. So bear with me. I've got my scissors. This is from Amazon. Let's open this up. Well, I think I already know what's in this one, because I have another box like this. Yeah, so that is, so there is a book in here which we'll get to in a second, and then there are a couple of things to help me. So this is a bag that I when you unzip the whole thing, it turns into a massive hold wall. So this is what I'll be using to take back 23 kilos of books. So sleeve, bring that over there. And this, I think, is something that goes in the hold-all, like for storing shoes in a hold-all, whatever. I bought some of those as well. So that over there, and the box goes in the cardboard recycling. And this was the book, so this is all Amazon packs, all these things. This is Harry Kunzru's Red Pill. I really very much enjoyed Harry Kunzru's last novel, White Tears, so I was happy to pay up in hardback for this. And I love the. I'm very interested to understand the psychology of pricing hardbacks. Some hardbacks in England are £20 for a known name, and Harry Kunzler has been nominated and is a fairly well named. It's a lovely hardback with a red cover. Not so keen on the actual cover, but this new in hardback was $14.99, and I paid for this. Drum roll, please. $8.99. So another sort of half price hardback, and looking forward to that. Okay, what's up next? This is kind of interesting. Let's see what it is. This is someone's repack. At some point in this video, you're going to see my mum's address. Just please try and wipe it from your minds. She doesn't need you bombarding her with things. How do you know how I'm going to open this? And look, it's past the parcel. So, in recycling, what this feels like a hardback graphic novel I'm getting. So, again, apologise to those of you who do not like graphic novels. Let's see what this one is. Oh, great. This is, oh no, not great. This is not what I thought it was. Okay, this is Batman and Robin, a volume that I've never read, written by Peter Tomasi. I don't even remember purchasing this. Let's see if it's on my list. How much I paid for it. Yes, I paid £6.10 for this, including postage. Brand new hardback would have been $25. Again, this is one of my inessential purchases. This is when I go look on eBay for graphic novels and end up buying things that I don't need. And I'm not in a rush to read this, but I have it now. And this is one of these great big hardbacks. And if you're wondering how I get to these things, this is how I buy them for £7. I'm an idiot. Okay. More paper recycling. What have I got here? Oh, this is interesting. Ryan's address. This is an interesting one. Let's see if we can get into here. First copy, so again it feels like graphic novel. It's got some bubble wrap. It's just fun openings. Oh, this looks like a live edition. It's got this lovely cover. Oh, this is nice. So this is Will Eisner's Comics and Sequential Art. It's a square, much more square thing, and this is about Will Eisner is one of the heroes of the history of the graphic novel specifically, and comic strip stuff as well, creator of The Spirit, and this is one of his books on how to write comic books, which is something I'm interested in. So there's stuff on how to what panels look like, how to use the gutter, what a splash page is, and all sorts of interesting stuff like that. And let's see how much I paid for Will Eisner. I paid £6 for this, and it has a UK cover price of £14.99. And it also has come in this library. Is it actually ex-library? Yes. Oh, look at that. Dundee City Council Central Library. Thank you, Dundee. Your loss is my gain, because £6 I think is a great price to pay for classic. Let's do some recycling. I've got cardboard in the cardboard, plastic in the plastic, and we move on. What's this? This is interesting. This is like a nice paperback. I don't know what it's going to be, but let's come with the scissors and start doing it. How we do the time? Okay, a bit more, and then we'll take a break. Oh, this is a nice paperback. I don't know which one. Ooh, Aristophanes, Lysistrata, the Acharnians, and the Clouds. I've never read any Aristophanes, and someone was talking about Lysistrata. Is Lysistrata the one where the women withhold sex? Is that what it is? Is that the basis for the Spike Lee movie Chirac? I could be making this all up, but I've never read any Aristophanes. I'm a complete ignoramus when it comes to the actual classics. I talk about classics. I'm talking about Victorians. Actual classic literature is missed out. Someone on BookTube was talking about Lysistrata, and I thought, you know what, I can get this fairly cheap. So, for example, I paid for this beautiful classic Penguin Classic with the purple band for actual Greek classics, and I paid for this £2.40. Now, I think that's a steal, and it's great. This is some plays, and I'm going to really enjoy this. I love a Penguin Classic, and looking forward to that. Okay, that goes on that pile over there, and this gets recycled, and let's pick something from up here. And this is like nicely packaged and taped up, and this could be a hardback book, could be a softback book. I have no idea what this is going to be. I'm seeing a blurb on the back by Carmen Maria Machado, author of Dream House. What is it for? Luster by Raven Lalani. Again, another BookTube classic. A lot of people recommended this to me. Really pleased to finally get my hands on this, because this is also under 220 pages. It's fantastic. I may do this very sooner rather than later. So Luster by Raven Lalani. Let's see how much I paid for that brand new beautiful hardback. I paid £8.70 for this, and this has got a cover price of $14.99. So again, that's at least a third off and more. So really pleased with that. Luster by Raven Lalani. Good stuff. And recycling again later on. I don't recycle that cardboard. What have we got here? Something thin and insubstantial. I love that. And it's got my name in it. Nice sort of padded envelope. Nothing more difficult than that. Let's just cut this off and take out from the padded envelope what we've got. Ooh, this is a nice one. So this is The Big Bow Mystery by Israel Zangwill. And I picked this up because I don't know who published this. This is, I think this is like this is out of copyright, so I think anyone can publish this. So I'm not sure it's a particularly well-known publisher, but it's only 150 pages. This is famously the first ever locked room mystery. So I think from the first published in 1892. And I thought that was interesting. I love a crime. I love a good mystery. The first ever locked room mystery by Israel Zangwill, and I paid for this not a whole lot, if I remember correctly. I paid £2.41 on eBay for that, including postage. So that's great. It's short. This will be a lovely sort of crime palette cleanser in between MCO stuff. Really happy with that Big Bow Mystery. And recycling. And we're coming up on the 30-minute mark, but let's get a few more of these in. I'll take a break, I'll have something to drink, and I'll come back with some more. This seems to have come from, this actually comes from Amazon, right? This is a proper Amazon mailer. So let's see, let's open it up again. It's not been Frankensteined. Let's see what this is. Oh yeah, this is a purchase I made from Amazon. Oh, 2 things. Great. 3 things. So that little package has 3 things in it. So this is fantastic. Let's look at them. This is volume 3, hopefully, yes, volume 3 of The Fix from Nick Spencer. I read a bit of Nick Spencer. I bought the first 2 volumes of this, read the first one, loved it, and then didn't have the third one. So I haven't read the second one. I've got waiting for me at home. And I got the third one, and that's the entire thing. It was a 12-issue series split into 3 graphic collections. So looking forward to that. And I paid for volume 3 a fair bit of money, because new paperback collections are hard to get cheap. So I paid for that. A lot of M's always. Nick Spencer, The Fix, volume 3, £8.27 for that tiny slim volume. That's, I think, 4 issues. That's collecting. Okay, this is a fun one. Sally Rooney. I hadn't read Mr. Salary, so this is again very short. This will take me no time at all, but it will go on the shelf with my other Sally Rooney's in anticipation of a new novel coming out this year, 33 pages. And again, even these little things don't always come cheap, but Sally Rooney's Mr. Salary, a standalone story of 30 pages, cost me £3.15. And then the last thing in this package is another short one, and I don't know much about it except I'd heard amazing things. So this is like just 110 pages, and this is 3 Rings by Daniel Mendelsohn. And I can't remember why I wanted to purchase. Maybe it won a prize or something sounded exciting about it, but now I've got this lovely hardback, and I'll let you know more about it when I've read it. But 3 Rings by Daniel Mendelsohn, again, I paid up for this. It's always, whatever page I turn to, it's the last one of the previous page. This cost me £7.54, and cover price of, doesn't have a cover price. What did I say? Oh yeah, $19.95 from the University of Virginia Press. Okay, I'm not even sure what that is, but it's non-fiction, I know that. Okie dokie. I think we'll stop it there. I barely even touched the path, so I'm just going to cut this. I also have no idea what it will be like, editing this to cut out all the bits, or to speed up all the bits where I'm just cutting, or what it's going to be like trying to upload to YouTube from my mum's apartment. So no idea when you'll see this, but I'm going to stop here and start a new one, and we'll call this part 1 of BookTube's biggest ever haul. see you in a couple of minutes. Bye.